Hello there, all Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. My name is Victoria, and we have your August 2025 money and career reading here for you. So we are full on in some retrograde energy here. Of course, we've got Mercury retrograde until August 11th, but then Mercury will, of course, still be in a shadow period. So for the first few weeks of August, we're going to be feeling this energy. And of course, a Mercury retrograde tends to be very quick moving and certainly does impact us pretty much right away. So just be extra cautious with communication. You might be feeling a little bit more reflective at this time. Just be a little bit more aware if you have to sign any contracts or deal in any kind of legal documentation, applications for things. Okay, just know that there could be heightened potential for something that gets missed or misplaced, okay, or misunderstood. All right, so double and triple check everything and maybe have a neutral third party review something before you make something official and sign on the dotted line. But Mercury retrograde can potentially bring back opportunities. It can bring back people and connections. So it can be something like you bump into someone that you used to work with, and this could inspire you, motivate you, or perhaps maybe even open the doors of opportunity for you there. They could have an opening in their workplace and they're like, hey, I haven't seen you for a long time. I was thinking about you the other day, because, that's usually how things happen. But retrograde energy does have us reflecting a little bit more, slowing down, looking at the big picture, and of course your planetary ruler Saturn is also retrograde. Okay, Saturn and Neptune are pretty much traveling very close together at this point. Both are retrograde in the sign of Aries. So again, you could be looking at your financial goals, your career goals, and in the sign of Aries, right? Aries does like to get things started, get things off the ground, take the first steps, take initiative, but it also tends to be impulsive. So this is where the retrograde energy can actually really help you to be a little bit more targeted in your approach to things and more more focused on things as well. Neptune energy can be very dreamy, and it can be where we are dreaming about something, we use our imagination, we fantasize about something, right? But then Saturn can really help you here to bring your dreams into reality and then take action. Right? So it can be really helpful, but certainly is a little bit slower energy, which is probably a little bit what we all need in August. So hopefully you're getting an opportunity to go on vacation, spend some money on yourself, beautify your home, and maybe just write down some goals and intentions. We do have a new moon in the sign of Virgo on August 22nd. Virgo rules the 6th house of our daily habits, patterns, routines, our daily work. And so where we work, how we get to work, what we do for a job, right? Those kind of things. So, this can be where if you're looking to make some change or some improvements, this is a great opportunity to write down some intentions. All right, let's see what we've got coming out for you. Oh, I should say we've got a full moon in Aquarius coming up here as well on August 9th. And you and Aquarius share a planetary ruler. You share Saturn. Of course, Saturn is Aquarian's traditional ruler. So some of you may want to watch Aquarian reading as well. But a full moon in Aquarius, look back 6 months ago to the new moon in Aquarius. What were your intentions? What were you starting? What were you changing? As far as your money and your career goes, have a look back, reflective energy with retrogrades, and see how far you've come. And don't forget to give yourself a pat on the back, because sometimes in our day-to-day lives, we don't think we've come very far. But when we look back and we see the big picture, we realize that we've actually made some progress. We have journey. Wonderful, beautiful energy. So this is about moving forward, right? So some of you could potentially be planning a trip or actually going on a trip in the month of August. Some of you are maybe just going to make some plans this month. Maybe go on a vacation or something a little bit later, September or onwards, maybe when all the kids go back into school, and maybe when it's not like silly season, right? Maybe when it just calms down a little bit, things are a little bit cheaper and they're not as busy, right? So you could be waiting for that. This can also be that you're on a journey of discovery. What what career path do I really want? What is my financial outlook and how do I get there? So the journey is all about, following a path, choosing a way forward and figuring out what you want to do, right? Am I on the right path? Do I need to make some change? But this is forward momentum here. So this really does you show that you could have a change in direction. Some of you might feel like you're at a crossroads, but whatever path you choose, listen to your intuition and be honest with yourself, and you will choose the right path. But some of you have some doors opening for you with that energy, so take advantage of that. We have door to spirit. So we do have a door opening there for you. Wonderful. Follow your intuition. The door to spirit can certainly represent that some of you are perhaps just really following some inner guidance. And especially if you've been kind of, feeling a little bit lost or feeling like you're not fulfilled right now, or perhaps you feel as though you've hit that proverbial glass ceiling on your career path kind of thing. Spirit is guiding you towards an open door, okay, or showing you how to open some doors. So really pay attention to your intuition. Pay attention to your dreams as well, right? Because, that Neptunian energy that's traveling with Saturn, right, your ruler, right, it's got a companion right now for the most part. So, they're not like exact holding hands, but they're very close. And they are two very slow moving planets. They will eventually drift apart a little bit more and one will overtake the other. But for now, it's like they're almost working together. So Saturn might be working together, right? Saturn, very spiritual energy, very dreamy energy, right? And of course, Saturn, very goal oriented. So, you could be being led down some sort of garden path here. And certainly Neptune can help you open some doors to follow the path that you maybe didn't even know you were looking for. So, but certainly some doors and opportunities open for you. Follow your intuition, pay really close attention to your dreams as well. And of course, you might be encouraged to follow your dreams, whatever that looks like to you. Some of you may perhaps find a way to use your spiritual gifts in some capacity to help other people. And this can, of course, bring about a change in career path for you, or perhaps be a way to supplement your income in some way, help other people, but get paid for it at the same time. Don't feel guilty or don't feel bad or don't feel like it's uncouth to charge money for your spiritual services. You are still giving your expertise. You're giving your time, energy, and attention to somebody. And yes, in the world we live in, that costs some money, right? So that's how we exchange things. So don't feel guilty about that. It's very, very, very old world way of thinking kind of thing, but nothing is free, right? So anyway, so it certainly might be some doors opening up for you there. But you could also be called to get a personal reading at this time as well. It might be an astrology reading. It might be tarot. Maybe it's a Reiki healing session, right? Maybe you want to do some past life regression to release some blocks or fears, right? This can help you open up some career paths and open up the financial flow of abundance as well. Let's see what else we get. 9 of Cups. What are you dreaming about there, Cappy? Right? The 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment, right? This is your wishes, your goals fulfilled. You're feeling good. You're feeling content, right? This can be a goal for you, or this can certainly be something coming true. Wonderful, wonderful way to start your reading. We also have the 7 of Cups. There's your imaginative fantasy energy there. And we've got the Page of Pentacles. Some of you can have some very good news coming in here in the month ahead. The Page of Pentacles pages do tend to bring messages. They also bring new and improved things into our life. So you could potentially have a gift coming in, and often the Page of Pentacles can be some sort of financial gift. Okay, this can be something new, a new job, a promotion, a raise, a bonus. This can be a new investment opportunity. This can be something you buy as well. Maybe you've been saving up for something and you've been kind of, dreaming about something there. You could maybe have a little bit of luck. Something might go on sale and you're like, I'm there. So this can be something very exciting for you. But I do feel here with that 7 of Cups showing up, right? It is a little bit Neptunian there, right? About our dreams, our imagination, having a lot of options, a lot of different opportunities. But the thing is, when we get the Seven of Cups, I mean, we can really use our imagination to make our wishes and goals and dreams come true and bring something into reality, right? With our Page of Pentacles there. But sometimes we get lost with the Seven of Cups, right? Sometimes we procrastinate because we want something, we desire something, we want to create something, or we want to change something, but there's something holding us back. And often it's just that little fear factor there that causes us to hesitate. Because what if I make the wrong choice? And some of these cups got a beautiful, peaceful dove flying out of that one. We've got some, victory ivory coming out of another one, right? But, there's some that are fearful. So, sometimes, it can be a fear of success, sometimes a fear of failure, a fear of the unknown, a fear of change, right? So, sometimes we do need to kind of bring ourselves back to reality, Page of Pentacles, right? Bring ourselves back to reality and just trust our wisdom, our door to spirit, right? Use your intuition, use that inner guidance system. If it feels right, even though if it might feel weird, if it feels right, then give it a whirl. Give it a try. See where it goes, right? Trust yourself and trust your own judgment. But if there's something that maybe there's something that you do desire here, something that you are imagining here, but the Page of Pentacles can indicate that there might be new sources of information opening up for you here as well. And, when, you're a very practical sign a lot of the time. And so, this can be that, I want this thing, or I want to make this change. I want financial independence. I want a new house. I want a new job. I want all of these things, right? You're very goal oriented. Okay. But you like to have the information, right? And so the Page of Pentacles can say that, you might need to do a little bit of research. You might need to find more information to make yourself feel a little bit better about whatever choices that you may need to make, right? And hey, nothing wrong with gathering some information, but sometimes we can go on information paralysis though. So too much information can be systems overload, and then we're right back to square one. So just keep that in mind there. But there could certainly be some sort of dream coming true for some of you here. And so just keep an open mind about that. Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful. Look at that. 9 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. Oh yeah, something wonderful there. Got the King of Cups. And the Knight of Cups. Following your goals, following your dreams, taking affirmative action, and making something happen for yourself. I mean, the King of Cups right in the middle of your reading. This can certainly be about following your heart, following your bliss, creating something that you want, taking charge, taking the lead, and succeeding. Kings are leaders, kings succeed, and kings master their craft. So give yourself a little bit more credit than maybe sometimes you do, okay? Because you have more ability to succeed than maybe you give yourself credit for. We've got to take a little bit of action here, Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups can sometimes bring us opportunities, right? This can be a delivery system of some really good messages. So again, you can have some really good news coming in, or those doors of opportunity opening for you, or maybe you even make your own luck. The Ace of Pentacles is a very lucky energy, right? All the aces are lucky. All the aces are a gift, the seed of something new, the seed of a potential, whether something new, something improved. It can be information, it can be money, right? Whatever it happens to be, it can be opportunity, right? But the Ace of Pentacles can also represent luck and a windfall. Now, a windfall of what? Yes, it can be a windfall of cash. Okay. Yes, it can be a new opportunity that brings you a lot of rewards, right? But we got to start somewhere, right? Or we got to do something. We got to take some action. But yeah, with this nine of Cups with that Ace of Pentacles, that's magical stuff right there. You could have some helpful people along the way here as well. We do have 2 people coming out here for you. Knight of Cups, King of Cups here. So this can be an opportunity to partner up and collaborate with somebody who's on the same page. You both bring something really positive to the table. Maybe you bring this down to earth, practical energy, right? And they bring a little bit more of a creative energy to things, right? And it can be a really good, fruitful partnership. So some of you may be forging new business partnerships, or you might be teaming up with someone at work, right? Project. Maybe you get a project handed to you and you're like splitting up the workload and you're like, okay, you're better at this than I am and I'm better at this. So it's like, this really good collaboration there that can certainly get you noticed in your workplace, right? So this can be really positive for you. I do feel that some of you have not just supportive people around you, but I do also feel that some of you here may have a personal relationship that is evolving in some way. I mean, the Knight of Cups, let's face it, can bring some proposal around. So, you could have a personal relationship where you're buying a house together, you're moving in together, you're splitting up your bills, maybe you're getting engaged, getting married, whatever it happens to be, taking that relationship up to the next level there. And this can bring you some financial relief, right? Maybe it doesn't bring you more money, but it can bring you some financial relief, right? Think about 2 people moving in together, right? 2 people now paying the bills that one person used to pay. So this can, kind of give you a shift in perspective about what you do every single day and why you do it, right? And so maybe you get a little bit more freedom, right? Freedom to do the things that you want rather than just chase the gold, right? So this can be impactful in some way in your money or your career prospects. But I do think that there's some sort of opportunity or offer on the table, and there might also be some information that may come to light for you here. Judgment. 10 of Wands. And the King of Swords. So we've got another king coming out here. So the King of Swords sometimes does come out when we're negotiating something, okay? Or when we need to put our emotions to the side and use our logic and intellect to make a decision, to make a choice, or to communicate. The King of Swords is a wonderful energy coming out here for you to speak your voice, right? Your throat chakra, have that be heard. Okay, really great energy for giving presentations or for doing job interviews, those kind of things. That's really awesome. Or just speaking up for yourself can certainly pay off for you when the King of Swords comes out. But I do feel here that there could also be a potential here to have a helpful resource. It might be a legal person. It might be someone whose services you need to pay for. But the King of Swords can be a legal brain. They can be somebody who just is incredibly smart at, looking at things, or in business. They could have a really high business acumen there. But it can also be someone who can negotiate. All right. So someone that can help you negotiate. And I mean, if you've got a new job coming in, remember that we do have Mercury retrograde. So the King of Swords could really be somebody who you could tap into to help you to review a contract, right? Just to make sure, or legal documents of any kind, just to make sure that you're making a right choice and that there's nothing hidden. Okay. Because the Judgment card can be a revelation, right? It's going to be where something hidden comes to light, right? We get ultimate clarity with the Judgment card, okay? So there could be a helpful person, because 10 of Wands, right? There's, maybe a little bit of stress placed on you, maybe a timeline placed on you, or maybe it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, I don't like dealing with these matters. These things really stress me out. I'm not really adept at these things, and I think I need to get a second opinion. Right. And so that can certainly be opening up for you here. But whatever is going on in your month, we do have the Judgment card. And so the Judgment card can be where we're seeing the light, right? We're answering the call. We're seeing the light, right? So something is snapping there. Something is sparking there. Okay. This can also be where we do see the ultimate truth and clarity about something around us. So it can be that you see your way forward, right? It can be that door opening for you. Remember, we've got the door to spirit opening for you. So something could be revealed to you this month. There could be a surprise, something you weren't quite expecting, okay, or something you needed clarity on. You're getting that clarity. You're figuring things out. The Judgment card can also be a card of second chances. So again, retrograde energy can bring second chances, especially Mercury retrograde. All right, so you could have that second chance at that job that you really had your heart set on, right? That promotion that you knew should have been yours. And, you know, maybe you felt wronged or you felt that it got snatched away, right? So maybe something identical or something similar may come along, or maybe even something better, right? So second chances can certainly come in with the Judgment card, but we can also have this energy of letting go. Okay, and change is challenging. Starting something new can be challenging. Making financial decisions can be challenging, right? But so we're letting go of something. We're letting go of fear. We're letting go of doubt. Okay, or we are making some change. We're letting go of something that has been a burden, right? And, you know, moving towards something a little bit better, something that makes us happier, something that brings us money, but also joy. Right? Something that gives us that sense of fulfillment, or is surrounding us with a little bit more positive people. And that's, never underestimate that, right? We spend a lot of time at work, right? Most people go to work to make money, right? And, you know, but money is not always everything, right? Because if you're working in a toxic, stressful environment where people aren't supportive of each other and it's just not bringing you any kind of joy other than maybe your paycheck, then maybe it's time for a change, right? So you might be letting go of something stressful there. Okay, this can also just be like I'm just gonna, you know, look at things a little bit differently. I'm not gonna let stress bother me, right? And I'm ready for things to be just a little bit easier, right? But the Ten of Wands sometimes does come in. Yes, a burden, stress, a reminder not to say yes to everything. Okay, people do tend to turn to you, Capricorn, because you are very focused. You're very goal oriented. You're very career oriented, right? And you know, maybe people look to you for guidance, but they could also look to you because you have a sense of responsibility and you do tend to take on responsibility. So don't let people dump stuff on you. Okay, you got to learn to say no and let it go. Judgment card. Okay, and that can be your new thing this month. Maybe that's the new, right? You're saying no every once in a while. It is freeing when we learn to do that. Okay. But I do think that there's some very important conversation or something that may come to light or open up for you here. Things make it a little bit easier for you. Remember, we started out your reading with your 9 of Cups. What does that mean to you? What is your goal? What is your dream? What is your wish? What makes you happy? What makes you feel good about your money? About where you spend your money, where you make your money, right? How you invest your money, right? Your career path that you're on. That's the very first card that comes out, right? Is that focus, okay? So be honest with yourself, all right? Be willing to let something go or say no to things that just don't float your boat and that just don't work for you, all right? And don't be so, don't take the weight of the world on your shoulders with that 10 of Wands, okay? There's people and resources that you can tap into to help make something a little bit easier or give you a little peace of mind, okay? But I'm loving the Page of Pentacles for you. I'm loving the Ace of Pentacles for you, especially. So there can be some bright and shiny things coming in here for you or opening up for you this month. So let's get a couple more cards out here. We're going to get some messages from our angels of abundance. And our first card, unlimited ideas. Hey, look at that. There we go. Your mind is one with the universe's infinite mind. Therefore, you have complete access to unlimited ideas guaranteed to bring blessings. Beautiful. All you need to do is take divinely guided action to allow these ideas to come to fruition. And it is safe for you to receive. Wonderful. I love this card. It's just so pretty. Maybe because it's like wintry and snowy and that's my season. But anyways, the more you allow yourself to receive, the more resources you have available to share with others. Open your arms to receive and be a conduit for good coming to you and through you as it blesses the world. Having said all that, I'm going to leave that there for you guys. I hope there was something here for you. So please do like, share, and subscribe. I thank you guys so very much for watching. Hope you have an absolutely wonderful, fun-filled month and prosperous month ahead. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.